My name is Winter Williams. Walk through the discovery of my first spouse having an affair with our nanny, and later finding out that he had a child, and then later finding out that he had another child.
Oh, so Ashley and I are looking at each other and like, what?
This is Sam P. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with something new in Marriage Huntsville, DC. So whenever it was announced that Carlos King was coming with something new for us, I was like, okay, let me jump on a review for this. So let me know if you'd like me to go over a review, a full review for this show, or if you prefer me to work on reaction. Please do not hesitate to leave a comment. Let's get right into it. First scene, we see Miss Monique Samuels. The last time we saw Monique Samuels is when she was beating up that old girl, Real Housewife of Potomac. And she is back. She was wrongfully removed from Potomac. Well, I think she just chose to leave. And I thought she was done with reality TV. But she's telling us that Carlos King reached out to her. Initially, she did not want to do it because she had reality TV PTSD, but after some soul searching, she decided that she's going to be back. And a part of me is like, she's just trying to promote her business. Monique is just trying to make money, and she is using a reality TV platform to do so, as she should. You go, girl. So of course she's telling us about Not For So Lazy Mom. She's telling us that she has an event ready for it where she's going to have a lot of ladies there. We see her, prepping things together, and we're being introduced to one of the first lady that's going to be in the show with her. Ashley Silva is introducing herself. She's a married woman. She's a mother of 2. She is also a podcaster. She was definitely beautiful. And she comes in, saying hi to Monique, and they chit-chat together. Then we are introduced to Erana Tyler. Erana is 48 years old, and I'm like, y'all, I need to get into the gym. I need to make sure I'm living the healthiest physical and mental life because I want to look as good as this lady is whenever I'm 48 years old, y'all. That lady looks beautiful. All of the ladies look beautiful, but she is 48 years old, looking younger than my 33-year-old as. And I'm like, yeah, I need to get myself in shape. She's beautiful. So she's telling us that she is a married lady and she is a mother, I believe, of 3. She tells us that one of her sons is visually impaired. Also, she comes into the event. And then she's sitting down next to Ashley while Monique is hosting an event, and she's talking to Winter William. Winter William, beautiful lady. We don't know much about her, but whenever she's talking to Monique into the interview, she's letting us know that her first marriage, she was married to someone in the NFL, and he basically was cheating on her with the nanny and ended up having a child with her and then having another child out of wedlock. I mean, really, really bad. And I'm like, oh, wow, this show is starting with a bang. Carlos King is not playing with us. And 2 other ladies, Erana and Ashley, they're like giggling and talking to each other, talking about their board. Monique's event seems to be a success. She has a lot of people showing up and having support for her. So it's looking pretty good. At some point, we see Monique in a confessional talking about this show is going to be different from Real Housewife of Potomac. She's basically saying that those ladies are different. They're bringing something different to the table and they're not dramatic. And I'm like, Monique, this is a reality TV show you are into. There will be some drama. Maybe you won't be part of the drama because, of course, you're selling yourself up as like the main face of the show because you're the most famous one. So hopefully you're not going to be part of the drama, but there's going to be drama in the show. I can already smell it. I mean, that Winter William lady, she's coming and letting us know from the beginning what happened with her first husband, and now with her second husband, she's going through things. I think the word on the grapevine is that he's a scammer and he's back living with his parents, and apparently he's like an older man. So I'm like, yeah, that lady is going through a lot, but she seems to be a very strong lady. But yeah, seems like there's going to be some drama. None of those girls don't appear to me to not have some in their life. Let me all know what you think. Next scene, we see Erana and her mom. Her mom is cooking in the kitchen and she's letting us know that her mom has been living with them and she's been loving it. Whenever she's calling her mom sounds annoyed. She's like, I'm not your maid girl. Like, that's kind of like the face that her mom gave. It was so funny. And then she's like, it's smelling good. And her son comes in. So one of her son comes in. And her son is visually impaired and some young man. And she's talking to him. You can feel the love. She's telling him what she has ready for their 26th anniversary for her and her husband. Then we are introduced to her husband. Her husband is one handsome man. He actually reminds me of my husband. Well, my husband reminds me of him because my husband is younger, but yeah, very handsome man. He's introducing himself. He is Jamie. Apparently, he's really well known. He's telling us he's just a normal guy. He is known for... Basically, he's like a party promoter in the DMV and US area. He's telling us that he has 2 famous parties. A lot of people know about them. I think those parties are for like the grown and sexy crowd, which is really cool. And from the picture that we see, it's looking really nice. It's looking very, very nice, actually. If there's anybody from the DMV that's been to one of those parties, let us know in the comment how those parties are. They're talking, and then she's talking about their son. The other son, I think is the oldest one, called Little Jamie. And she's telling Jamie, her husband, that little Jamie, she called him and that she invited him to the party for the 26th anniversary, who all the ladies are excited about. Monique even mentioned that she wants to get some tips and advice from them because 26 is a long time. Ashley was kind of like throwing shade away, but to me it wasn't shade, girl. Like, yeah, whenever they married, you were 10 years old, but girl, you would be very blessed to be able to make it to 26 years in your marriage. That is definitely a blessing. And Erana looks beautiful. So to me, even though it was a shade, I'm like, girl, take it as a compliment. And she wasn't fazed about it, by the way. Jamie is like, well, we're going to call it Big Jamie because it seems like Little Jamie is going to be part of the show. So let's say Little Jamie and Big Jamie. So Big Jamie is saying that, if he wants to reach out, he can reach out. But right now, he's not really liking what's going on with the son. They haven't been talking to each other. Big Jamie is giving me street dad. Like, I'm not playing with you. I want you to be a certain way type of dad. He looks like someone that has lived and that has a lot of experience. And from what I can infer, there's a lot going on with little Jamie. Some family issues. The way they're talking about it is letting me know that they're going to be willing to let us, see what happens in the show. We have Chris and Monique. We're seeing Chris, working out with his trainer. I love that. He's taking care of himself. Chris is a big man, so I think it's important for him that since he's not an athlete no more, well, he's still an athlete, but since he's not playing professional football no more, that it's important for him to keep on taking care of himself. So he has a trainer and doing what he got to do. And we're introducing himself and he's giving us his stats. And yeah, it's pretty impressive. He's had a very full career in the NFL, which is a blessing because I hear that there's a lot of injuries going on in the NFL and a lot of those men don't make it to 10 years. So yeah, congratulations on that. Then Monique comes in and they're talking. We see them talking about the party. She's letting him know how it went. She tells him what happened. She talks about winter and they talk about it. And then on their side, they're both saying that, they're going into 10-year marriage, but it's been some ups and downs. Chris says that he's feeling a little bit emotionally disconnected from his wife. And going to the 26th birthday party celebration for Erana and her husband is definitely nice for them. They want to be able to know couples that they can learn from. And they feel that Erana and her husband can be one of these because 26 years of marriage is a big deal. And they have a lot of work to do in theirs. Marriage is not easy. Marriage is something that you have to consistently work at to make it work. And the both of you have to be engaging. Next scene, we're introduced to Ashley and her husband. Of course, we've been introduced to Ashley in the previous scene, but now we're introduced to her husband. Love Marriage Huntsville, what's good about it is that both husband and wife are both involved in the show. It's probably what makes it so good, and I think they're going to do the same thing for Love Marriage DC. So we're introduced to DJ Quick, who is Ashley's husband. He is a DJ, as his name is telling us, but he's also working in a radio syndicated, and he does a lot. He's a very, very busy man, and you can see that he's proud of where he is, as he should. See them, they're in their house with their children having breakfast, and they have two beautiful children, a boy and a girl. Then we see them sitting down and they're talking, and Ashley is telling him that she's been doing a lot around the house and she would like to get the support from her husband. He's asking her what's going on with her when it comes to her business, and she's saying that she wants to work on a podcast some more, and she's been working on a book, but it's been slow. Basically, she needs her husband's support because she's doing almost everything. She even mentioned feeling like she's a single mom because her husband is never around. And DJ Quick is saying that he really wished that he was more at home and he could just, do nothing. And he's like, being at home don't mean you're not doing anything. I do a lot. I just want you to be more involved. And I like the fact that she rectified him, because it is true. She's not just at home, twiddling her thumb. She is being a stay-at-home mom, and she's also a podcaster, and she's writing a book. So obviously she is a busy mom. And at the same time, I understand, because he probably is the main provider for the family. He has a lot going on. He's very busy. But as I've said before, what is the point of working so hard and having all this money if you cannot enjoy it with your family? Everybody should be looking for balance. What's the point on having all this money if you cannot get to enjoy it with the people that you love? DJ Quick agrees with his wife, and he's saying that he's definitely going to work at it. So that's definitely nice. We love a husband that's understanding and that is willing to make change family for himself and his family. Scene. We see Erana and her son. They're meeting at the car dealership. Her son is looking for a car, and he looks just like his dad. Lil Jamie looks just like his dad, but he has the dreadlocks. Very handsome young man. And they get to talk. They're happy to see each other, and she's basically saying that she's very happy to see her son. And from the beginning, she's like, I'm not buying this car. So basically, her son has to be independent. I like that. He's 25 years old, and from what we can infer, the father is not really happy with what he's doing. So you don't want to go and buy him a car when he's obviously not doing certain things that he's supposed to do. They get to talk, and she's telling him about the party. She's telling him that she's worried for him, and so many young black men being killed, and she doesn't want anything to happen to him. And a part of me is like, ooh,
what is going on? Like, I want to know now. I really want to know what's going on.
Just looking at little Jamie, it seems like something is bothering him. You can see him feeling emotional, seeing his mom crying. The way he is speaking is telling us that seeing his mom crying like that and being worried for him is really touching him. And he's planning on doing better for himself. I don't know what's going on with little Jamie, but it seems that he is troubled. At least he has a relationship with his mom, and apparently him and his dad have a strong relationship since he's been a teenager. I don't know yet, but a part of me feel like maybe he's the type of like rebellious child, and maybe his dad is maybe on the strict side and they're bumping head, especially that he's also the first son. I don't know if he's the first child, but he's the first son as far as I know. So there's some pressure in there, and with some family, especially with us African people. Well, I don't know if they're African, I think they're African American, but sometimes they put a lot of pressure on the first boy or the first daughter, and if he's being wild and things like that, I can imagine them bumping head. That's just me saying my piece. I do not know those people. I'm just saying based on what I've seen so far. And yeah, he's hugging his mom, and they go into the car. It was a sad scene to see, but at least I like the fact that he's talking to his mom. And honestly, I'm curious. I want to know what's going on with him. And I hope that his relationship with his father is going to get better. I do not like to see parents and children relationship being fractured. It's really heartbreaking. So good luck on that. Next scene is Erana and her husband's 26th birthday anniversary party. They're looking so good. Everybody's looking good. Chris and Monique are even matching. I like Monique's dress. Everybody's looking good, And they're all saying, we want to ask them for tips. We want it to be a Q&A. I'm like, those people just want to have a good time, and you want to make it like an informational session. Like, girl. And they come, Erana and her husband comes, we see the son in the background, he has his fur and the mother, beautiful sight to see. When they come, Big Jamie said that he's not seeing little Jamie so far, but he's not sure if he's going to come, but if he doesn't come, that's going to be a problem. And I'm like, I hope that little Jamie come, right? So they are sitting down and they're asking them questions. They want to know what is the secret sauce to make it to 26 years of marriage. That is a big deal, especially in the years 2020. But you know, they're being very vague. And Erana is saying, I just want to have a good time. I don't want to talk about my marriage right now. Smart lady, smart seasoned lady. My guess is that Erana don't want to talk about her marriage at all. Erana probably don't want to give nobody no tips because marriage is not easy. You know what I mean? That's the energy that she's giving me. Let me know in the comment the energy that Erana is giving you. But in a good time, they're celebrating, everybody is there, and then little Jamie come in with his little girlfriend, or a girl at least, and he's looking good. Take his dad aside, and he's happy to see his son. Then they talk together. He tells his dad what he's been going through. He's telling us that we learn a little bit more about his situation. Apparently, he's been involved with the wrong crowd. He's been smoking a lot, not living a healthy lifestyle. And that's why his father is not happy about it. His father is telling him, listen, I just want the best for you. At the end of the day, knowing that you're not okay doesn't make me happy. I just want you to be in the right path. And I just want you to know that I love you. The only reason we're so hard on you is because we love you. And little Jamie is really happy that his dad is telling him that. And he's telling him, you know, it makes me feel good for you to tell me that you love me. And I'm like, yeah. Black people, we need to tell each other we love each other more often. That is something that a lot of us were not raised in. Personally, I was raised in a very loving family, but my parents never told me they love me. But definitely in their action, I always felt it. I have no doubt of my parents' love. But you know, today's generation, they want to hear it. They want to hear the word. They want you to tell them, you know. And everybody is different. I personally don't need my parents to tell me they love me because I feel it every day of my life. But some people need that reassurance, especially whenever relationships are strained and there's a lot of misunderstanding. So it was a beautiful sight to see father and son, you know, holding each other and telling each other that they love each other. Good luck to y'all. Scene, we see Monique and Chris, you know, after the party, they're talking and they're basically saying that they had a really good time at the party, but they really wanted to know more about how to maintain a 26 year in the marriage. They've been together 10 years and she's not sure if they're going to go 10 more years. She's saying that it's been a struggle for her and she's really just looking for help. That's the reason why she's been insistent on it. She said that her parents divorced after 22, 23 years. She does not want that. And at the same time, Chris's parents, they're acting more like their friend. And I'm like, girl, what do you want then? What do you want? Man, when I'm old with my husband, it's okay if we act like friends. It's okay if we even act like brother and sister. I just want the company. I know I love you. You know, Erana and her husband, they don't want to talk about it. That was not the time. They just wanted to celebrate. A part of me really feels they don't want to talk about their relationship because they know their shit ain't perfect and they're just going through it. And that's the problem sometimes, because some people, they're really open to give tips and give advice, but people don't want tips and advice from some people. And now we have some people that are being pretty quiet. They don't necessarily want to talk about the ins and outs of their marriage, but y'all are curious because you want what they have. You may not want what they have. Maybe for them, making it to that 26 year was not, you know, easy. You know, maybe it was a lot of bump in the road and they don't want to necessarily share it because maybe it pains them to talk about that, and they'd rather focus on whatever that they have good today. But I do understand Monique, but it wasn't the time. And I do understand that it seems that a goal for the show is to show black families getting along and are living a healthy life, you know, which is great. We need that type of representation. But you know, it's gonna take time, and Chris said that it's probably going to take them some time to open up, and I'm like, yeah, that might be the case. Like, this is only the first episode, and they talk about their own relationship and things get a little bit tense. It seems like there are certain things that Monique wants for her husband to do. She mentioned a list about himself. She wants to know more about him, and that's basically an exercise for him to do. but she feels that he doesn't want to do it, and instead of admitting that he doesn't want to do it, he's just running around the bush. But then he's like, yeah, you're right, I don't want to do it. So it kind of escalates between the two of them, and you can see that, yeah, there's some difficulties in the marriage. They have problem communicating, and they probably, you know, need like therapy, someone to help them, which is, I think, okay. No relationship is perfect. Part of me is like, hey girl, I mean, I understand that at some point he's going to have to do the work. Chris also feels like, I think from the way he's speaking, he feels like he's not being appreciated, which is not a good state to be in. I don't know them, but Chris seems like a really good husband, and all I wish for them is to be able to fix their issue. That's it, y'all. That's it for my review of the first episode of Love Marriage Huntsville. In the preview for the season, it's definitely going to be explosive. There's going to be a lot going on. Carlos King is at it again, bringing us some hits, and I can't wait to perform a review for that. For those of you that are new here, hey, and I welcome you too, you know. And for those of you that are being here with me, supporting me, watching my reviews, commenting under my videos, I'm so thankful for you all, and I will see you all next week. Bye.